You know what I hate? I hate tier lists. You know why? Because in a game like Rainbow Six Siege, where all ranks, certain operators are better than most. For example, you get a operator like Cav in Copper, a little bit more relevant in around the Copper elo than she is Champion. So today I'll be going through every single rank, and I'll be just doing a quick little tier list explaining why these operators are good and why they're bad in each rank. Hope this video helps. Let's get right into it. Today's video is sponsored by the RYZEN. If you guys don't know who they are, they're a long-term supporter of the channel, and honestly, they have a premium product here. Now, besides it just looking cool and nice and sleek and simple, the good thing about the RYZEN wallet is its RFID protection. Now, basically what that is it stops people from stealing your credit card information or just basic pickpocketing. Technology has advanced to the point where people can literally walk by your pocket and steal your credit card information. The RYZEN protects you for that. It also comes with a money clip, so if you like to carry cash, you can. And there's all sorts of different colors and designs. I like to go with the gold design, but for example, you can go with something more like this, or just a simple sleek color like white, or even if you want to get funky, you can get something like this. They have tons of stuff on their website, so if you don't mind checking them out, use code Garfield at checkout to get 15% off your next order. Just click the top link in the description and just go check them out. The new operator Asmi, I don't know when you're watching this is recorded before year 7, but I feel like this operator tier list is going to be most relevant for year 7. So I think Asmi is going to be S tier with all ranks. I'm not gonna lie. I can see some like copper, bronze, and silvers maybe using her a little bit questionable. There's going to be a little bit of a skill gap there, but I feel like I feel like people are gonna get to use her and understand her very easily. So I think she's gonna be S tier. All right, so I'm gonna match up copper and bronze in one, just because I feel like those elos are kind of one and the same. No offense to any you copper or bronzes. I feel like you guys kind of have the same tendencies in terms of needing to learn the game. So that's what this tier list is going to be. Right here on the copper and bronze, it's going to be more about learning the game and what ops you should be using to learn the game. Just so you guys know, I'm sorry if I sound open. I recently did move, so that's why the background is just very like bland. So if you're like a long-term subscriber, I just want to say thank you for supporting me, guys. You actually you're the reason why I was able to get out of my house and be on my own and, you know, work out some trauma related issues. So thank you guys. So starting from the top, we have A1 ops to learn the game, and then it just slowly digresses down. Of course, we have fun but almost never useful operators, and then operators that you should almost never use because how dog shit there. I'm gonna put Sledge in A1 ops to learn the game, because the vertical play that's needed with an operator like Sledge is definitely A1. Thatcher, I would say in the same boat, even though he's always banned. It's just the essentials of understanding when to use your utility. That's why Thatcher's in there, because if you misuse the EMPs, you can basically like screw over an entire round. Smoke, I'm gonna put great op, but a huge skill gap. A lot of people don't understand when to properly use their canister, and they feel like in most scenarios that the only time to actually use the smoke canister is when you like the last 30 seconds. There are scenarios where you need to push players back, and you know, a lot of people just don't use this, but one of the best ops in the game. Mute, A1 ops to learn the game, because you're denying drones and you're denying the attacker's primary utility. Thermite, I'm going to say A1 ops to learn the game, because he's the most basic hard breach. You place a hard breach on the wall and you open it. Ash, I don't know if I want to put her in sometimes used for A1 ops to learn the game. I'll put her, since she's a year 1 op and just she's the essential like entry, I'm gonna put her in A1 ops to learn the game. Pulse, I'm gonna put him in great ops, but huge skill gap, because there's a difference between being an alright pulse and being effective than being a fantastic pulse that communicates with your team and overall just being hugely impactful for the team. Because yes, of course you can get a C4 kill from below, but the communication factor that you get from heartbeat, a little bit you know, pain in the ass. Castle, I'm gonna put him in sometimes useful, because a lot of copper and bronze players, if you bring out a castle, you're probably just gonna castle off the most random shit, and especially a lot of you guys solo queue. So like bringing an operator like castle with randoms is not a good, you know, good mixture. Montang, I'm gonna put in sometimes useful, because I don't think people utilize Montang in copper and bronze elo enough. to be effective, because once again, communication is a huge thing, and knowing when to push and how to play an operator like Montang is very difficult when you're in lower elo. I'm gonna put Twitch in A1 ops to learn the game, because Twitch is once again one of those essential ops that came from year one, and her drones, ever since they got a buff, I feel like she's very, you know, essential in terms of just you know, getting utility off. So like it kind of teaches you the fundamentals of the game. Doc, I'm gonna put him in fun but almost never useful, and I love Doc. Doc is one of those operators that's, you know, very fun and can be useful, but you have an operator like Thunderbird. I'm gonna put Rook in don't use, because a lot of people like to, and I'm gonna see hate comments and dislikes over Rook. I'm not a Rook fan. Rook is Rook is very stupid, man. Like, there's just way better options in my opinion, unless you want a 2.0. Fuse, I love Fuse. I'm gonna put him in A1 ops learn. You guys are gonna clown me, but I'm actually a Fuse enthusiast. I love Fuse. I feel like he's just so effective. He can do so much now, especially with his buff where you can put Fuse cluster charges on hard walls, and like just clearing utility is so important in a game like Siege that I'm gonna put Fuse up there. Just don't fuse your teammates, guys. Glaz, don't use him. Glaz is just so underwhelmingly boring, and he doesn't bring any utility to the team. I'm gonna put Chachanka, and no, I'm gonna put him. Oh, dude, this is hard, because like Chachanka, like with his buff, like he's actually like, I wouldn't say the skill gap is huge, because like, okay, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna put him in great op, but there's a skill gap, because when you're in copper and bronze, you're not going to understand what rotates to make and how or when to use his little fire things. So I'm just going to put him there, because a lot of you guys are not going to understand lines of sight, and it's going to be a little bit difficult to properly utilize Chachanka. Capcan, I'm just gonna put him A1, even though I don't think he's like the biggest operator to learn. You literally just put his EDDs down all across the map and whatnot. And in ranked, an operator like Capcan is actually very effective, because how random Capcan can be. So like, he's actually very good. Blitz, I'm gonna put him in don't use it. Blitz can be useful in scenarios, but when you're learning the game, I don't think he's one of the operators that you should. I'm gonna put IQ in A1 ops to learn the game, because IQ, she really, like, to use IQ effectively, to use her scanner, a lot of people just use her for a gun. It's very difficult to understand when to, or like how to use her utility if you don't understand map knowledge. So like, I would say she's good to understand map knowledge and how and where defenders put their utility. Bandit, I'm gonna put him in sometimes useful, because Cade is way better in 99.9 scenarios, just because of, you know, Thatcher's always banned. So you're better off bringing a Cade than a Bandit. Jaeger, I'm going to put him in A1 ops to learn the game, because he's the primary deniability in terms of utility, like stuns, nades, whatnot. It's very simple, and you kind of need to know how to properly place his ADSs and where to. I'm going to put Buck in A1 ops to learn the game. Kind of like Sledge, you can play vertical, but he can play more consistent vertical from below. The only downside is he has stuns compared to Sledge having nades. Frost, I'm just going to say sometimes useful, because you can make an operator like Frost be so effective. So like, for example, you have a shield, you have a shotgun, you have rotate capability, and you have frost mats that can easily get you free frags. I'm going to put Blackbeard in don't use, because there's no utility behind him. He's one of the operators, but you know, I'm going to put him in fun, but like almost never useful. Valkyrie, A1, I don't know if I want to put great op, but huge skill gap, because like Valkyrie cams, even the most simple Valkyrie cams can like be effective. So I'm gonna put her in A1 ops to learn the game, because you need to understand how to and where to place the cameras. Capital, I'm gonna put him in great op, but huge skill gap, because a lot of you guys are not gonna understand how to properly smoke stuff off, and how to and there's a lot of communication that's needed to use his firebolts. I'm gonna put Cav in fun, but almost never useful, unless you're in copper and bronze elo, like I'm kind of saying. I don't want to say don't put I'm not gonna put Cav in great op, but huge skill gap or A1 op to learn the game. When you're in the lower elo, people don't tend to drone, or they don't know how to drone properly. So Cav is going to be very effective in copper and bronze and maybe even silver elo. But you know, this portion of the video is more about teaching you guys what ops to go properly. Habana, I'm gonna say a skill gap is a little bit needed for you guys. It's just, this is more like a warning that it's gonna be a little bit more difficult for you guys, because Habana can do so much with her hard breach, and knowing when to pick her is the most important. For example, like getting hatches is very easy, but you got to know how to get around like K tricking and, you know, even K charges on like Clubhouse on the hatch. Takes a little bit of adjustment to understand when and where to use the bottom pellets. I'm gonna put Echo in sometimes useful. I think people sleep on Echo, and you're gonna see later on when I get into the higher ranks that I personally think Echo is a great operator, just highly underused. I'm gonna put Jackal in. Where do I put Jackal? Like, he's so powerful, but like I don't think he requires much skill to learn the game. Oh man, I'm gonna make another column, guys. Add a row above. Easy to use and over. I'm just gonna put easy to use. Yeah, he's strong. He's a very strong operator in all ranks. I just think he's easy to use. I just personally, I don't think he's gonna be in the tiers above, so I just had to make that. I'm gonna put Mira in great op, a huge skill gap. By the way, this doesn't mean like the operators above. I'm not saying any of these operators are better than any of these operators, and I'm not saying any of these operators below is better than the top. Keep in mind, this is more about teaching you guys what ops to go. But mirror, you got to know where to place our mirrors, and that's the only thing. I've seen a lot of scuffed mirror strats, so I'm just gonna put her in but huge skill gap. Ying is gonna go into, I'm just gonna say easy to use, because you're just like throwing candelas. The only thing that might mess you guys up is if you Ying your teammates. But yeah, Legion, I'm gonna put them in easy to use, because you're literally just throwing goo mines all over the map. Like the only way you're gonna misuse Legion is if you die way too early and you don't place your goo mines down, or if you're just not putting them down at all. Zofia, I'm gonna put her in A1 ops to learn the game, because she's kind of like a reflection of what Ashe is in terms of role, because like she does a lot of the same work that Ashe does, just with, I think, a overall better utility. Ella, I'm gonna put her in fun but almost never useful. I understand her Ella mines can be so effective, but I just think there's better, you know, ways to use her. I'm gonna put Dokkaebi in easy to use as well, because it's like you click one button and that's really it. Vigil, I'm gonna put him in easy to use as well. He's one of the most effective roamers in the game. It's just understanding when to use his cloaks and how to properly roam. Really up to you. Lion is gonna be easy to use as well. I understand timing with your teammates is important with Lion. Scan, because you kind of like hold the person still. Or you get a ping, but like you can solo with Lion. Vinka is going to be easy to use as well. You can, you know, give your teammates HP and you can revive down teammates or yourself. Alibi is fun but almost never useful. Alibi can be very useful and fun, but I just think there's better operators to pick. So I'm not saying this operator is bad. I'm just saying there's better operators you can be picking, but it's ranked. Maestro is, I would say there's a little bit more of a skill gap with an operator like Maestro, because you need to play your life a little bit longer, and to be effective as his Maestro cams, you just gotta be in a proper position to use them and like when to use them. Same with Maverick. Maverick is one of the hardest operators to learn in the game. I have a Maverick tutorial somewhere on my channel. You can just look through my videos. I would highly suggest going and watch that. Clash is I'm gonna put her in great op, but huge skill gap, just because of how much communication that's needed behind Clash. If you're solo picking Clash, you're probably not gonna be effective, because it's so hard to be effective with Clash. I'm gonna put Nomad in A1 ops to learn the game, because you need to know basic cutoffs on the map, and you need to know like what side of, like what's clear and what's not. He's so simple, but you just need to know what walls to deny and why. Gridlock, I'm gonna put her in easy to use as well, because you're literally just throwing track stringers, usually on like staircases of flanks. Mozzie, easy to use as well, like he's very simple. You're literally throwing down pests that grab drones. Knock, fun but almost never useful. You can make an operator like Knock useful, like I'm saying, but there's just better picks on attack most of the time. Same with Warden. The reason why I'm putting Warden in fun but almost never useful, you can make this operator useful. It's just, once again, there's better picks, and a lot of the times he's very situational. Same with Amaru. She's so fun to use. It's just, there is better attacking picks. I don't want to have a bunch of copper and bronzes ranking up and they're only maining Amaru. Goyo, great op to use, but he's hard to understand overall. Because an operator like Goyo, the issue is just knowing where to place your shields and how to cater off your Jaeger's ADSs. A lot of you guys just place your shields in, like in door frames, like inside the door frames, and it's stupid because they can easily just clear it. Callie, I'm just gonna put her in don't use. A lot of you guys don't have the aim for Callie. I don't mean no disrespect by that. It's just, there's better alternatives like Maverick, which has better utility all around. Well, I'm gonna say he's kind of like the opposite of Jaeger. Like, not the opposite, but he's kind of in the same boat of deniability. The thing about Wamai is his dis catch utility and it explodes. Say if it's like an ash charge or, you know, grenade. If you misplace the Wamais, it can clear all the utility. But it's a great operator to learn deniability. Yana is, I'm gonna say easy to use because she's very effective in terms of utility and she's a great op. She's not hard to use because you're basically having an extra drone of just her clone. Oryx is fun but almost never useful because you, like, once again, you can make this operator useful, guys. I'm not saying that, but it's just, I don't know, man. A lot of you guys, like, I would say learn the essential ops first, like that I'm putting here, and then you can screw around once you understand the utility fundamentals of the game. Ace is going to go into easy to use. He's the easiest hard breacher to use. He has the best gun out of all the hard breachers. It's just, he's so easy to use, but like, I've seen so many Ace players screw around and miss Ace walls. Melusi is a great operator overall, and she's just easy to use. She's one of the best operators in the game right now on defense because of how much utility she does bring. 3 wubs and a bulletproof for impact. She's amazing. I'm going to put 0 in great op, but huge skill gap. Because even though it's very easy to place your cams and whatnot, it's very hard to utilize those cams. And a lot of people don't understand that. Rooney, I'm going to put her in easy to use as well because she's very basic. You just put her gates on common door frames, or, you know, it really depends on site setup. I don't know what it's like in copper and bronze. I'm just going to say easy to use. Flores, great op, a huge skill gap. You have to properly understand how to use his Flores drones and get them in the vicinity and dodge mute jammers and, you know, not get swung while you're on the drone. Bird is going to go in easy to use. She's very basic and she's low risk, high reward type of operator. You can die and still heal your teammates. Same with, oh, so you're basically a walking shield. There's nothing I can say besides that. Like, you can be so effective with the shields though. Like, you're basically a walking Monty. Then Thorn, I'm just gonna put her in easy to use as well. She's one of those operators that you just throw her gadget down and then she can be effective. So this is copper and bronze. If you disagree, agree, or if you would make some different changes, let me know down in the comments. Keep in mind, this is my opinion and it's a goddamn tier list. So what I might think is right, you might think is wrong. And I'm kind of thinking from a PC perspective, but this is very relevant to console in a sense. All right, next is silver. So at this point, I'm just going to give you operators I think is going to be more useful in that elo. The reason why I didn't do that in copper and bronze is because I kind of want you guys to use the time when you're in copper and bronze to understand the fundamentals of the game. Because if you don't know how to use basic operators, you're not going to understand how to play in a team atmosphere and you're not going to be able to rank up. So yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep the lettering. So S is of course the best operators you can bring. F is like never. C is gonna be more like sometimes. B is all right, and then A is great. So Sledge is gonna be amazing because basic vertical play, of course. Same with Thatcher. You kind of when I don't know, I've seen the bans in silver and sometimes it is random, so Thatcher might be on the board, and you know, a lot of the times people don't know how to consistently bandit trick, or they just, you have a lot of throwers because silver is more about solo queue, to be honest, in my opinion. Same with gold. You have a lot of solo queue players. It's just gold players have a little bit better gun skill or more time played. Dude, it's hard not to put smoke in S. I'm not gonna lie, guys, because it's smoke. You can do so much, and you can like 1v5 people in that elo, in like any elo, to be honest, with smoke. Same with mute, because like when they do drone, you can deny drones. Thermite, I'm gonna put in C because I just think that you can crutch more of an operator like Ace, to be honest, to be your primary hard breacher. I don't think that's a good decision in higher elo, but in silver, I do think Ace is gonna be more effective than Thermite. If you use Thermite though, that's completely fine. Ash is going to go in S because of the aggressive gameplay. I'm going to put Pulse in C because how random players play in this elo. I would not want to bring a Pulse because the way that I've seen Silvers play, and I've played in Silver elo, a lot of people are very random. So like they can just either hit sight or they can just bait outside the entire round. Very, very odd elo. Castle, I'm going to put F because you bring a Castle Strato and 99% of the time a lot of you guys just solo queue. Montang, I'm gonna put in F as well, because just gun up. I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot of times in silver elo, a lot of you guys have a hard time of understanding when to get aggressive and when to get passive. On attack, you guys play like it's defense, and then on defense, you guys play like it's attack. So you guys gotta learn how to establish map control and gun up. Twitch S tier just because of the gun. Cool, she can deny utility, but literally the gun, you guys can play like crazy monkeys and just swing everything and use fire rate to your advantage. Rook, I'm gonna put in B, man, because you guys can just play stupid. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying that you should always play stupid, but you have basically an ACOG and it's fantastic. And a lot of you guys in silver elo kind of play a little bit more selfish, and it's not even your fault. It's because a lot of you guys solo queue, or you just play with people that don't know the team atmosphere type of thing. Doc, I'm gonna put in A because you can play selfish and you can basically heal yourself or your teammates. Fuse, I'm gonna put him in C because I don't imagine you're gonna be able to play vertical like by yourself. I'm thinking in a solo queue atmosphere because that's what a lot of you silver and gold players are. You're solo queue. Glaz is F. Chichanka is A. So fun. Amazing all around. Capcan is S tier because those EDD traps, man, they're fun and they get you free kills. And especially if you die, you might get a freebie and that might save you the round. Blitz is an F. It's Blitz. IQ is going to be like a C. I'm going to put her in a B. It's just like, it's going to be so hard for you guys to go below alone or just use her utility properly. Bandit is going to be a C because Thatcher. One, because like a lot of people might rush and like your teammates, what I noticed from silver, and correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of you guys either roam over too much or you guys are all in sight. So I just imagine trying to bandit trick is a little bit of a troll when you, especially when you have Cade. But if Thatcher is banned, so I'm gonna put him in C. Jaeger is gonna always be S tier. Buck is gonna probably be B tier because I would just rather a sledge. And there's not a lot of times where you're gonna be able to go below and play vert. And to be honest, I'm just saying this because silvers, a lot of them play off a lot of off angles, if that makes sense. They play in very random rat corners. Frost is gonna go in A because the random ability, I don't even think that's a word, but whatever, it's so random that you might be able to get a Frost kill and you can make rotates and you have a shield for your team. Blackbeard, I'm gonna put him in B just because how cheeky he is, and I'm thinking strictly in a rank level. Valkyrie, S tier. Capcan gonna be C tier. Don't even need to explain that. I'm gonna put Cav in A tier because once again, silvers, a lot of you guys either miss drone or you have teammates that miss drone, and that can cause you to get like an easy interrogation of. Habana gonna be S tier just because, you know, she's a 3-speed and she can open up so much lines of sight, so she's amazing. Echo, I'm gonna put him in B tier because he is a camera when you die, but you can also deny plant, and I doubt a lot of these silver players are gonna be really trying to scan where an Echo drone is. I see a lot of them panicking. Jackal's gonna be S tier just because of how easy he is and how effective he can be when he's on the board. Mira is going to be an A because she can change the landscape of the game. It really depends on the strategy behind your teammates. Ying, I'm going to put her in B as well because I feel like she can be very useful. It's just condeling your teammates and probably running into like frost mats and shit when you jump in. There's too many layers and too many different maps, so sometimes she could be a solid pick. Legion is going to be an S because you can cover so much area, or you can just get sound audio if they shoot the goo mines, so that is very effective. Zofia is going to be S tier just because the LMG and how much utility you have. You're able to burn utility with your stuns, or you can get lots of information with your stuns, so and you can impact any utility, so there's a lot of clearing capability. Ella, I'm just gonna put an F because, no offense, I have seen some very cracked golds and silvers mechanically, just they have no idea where to place their body. But like, I've seen a lot of you guys not be able to control like Twitch recoil, so that compared to Ella is night and day. It's gonna be insane. Dokkaebi, I'm gonna put her in A because there's a lot of off angles that a lot of you guys do play in silver and gold elo. So 100% Dokkaebi is going to be good for clearing. Vigil is going to be B just because of the lack of drone, like thorough droning and clearing that you guys do. I just don't see Vigil going to be, you know, the best type of operator to bring because people are not going to drone you properly. Lion is probably going to be an A as well because you can play very cheeky and you can, you know, act off info a little bit easier. Finka just because the healing, LMG meta, nades, and Gong 6. Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie, Alibi might be an A. Like, you guys might think I'm trolling. I feel like a lot of people would fall for the Alibi mines, and even like if they don't, they can be a pest because if somebody wall bangs a random wall and you place an Alibi in a proper scenario, you can get free intel and then act off of it or just get easy intel. Maestro gonna be an S because Maestro is just such a dominant operator in any elo. Same with Maverick, to be honest, because like if you do play a team, because here's the thing about silver and gold elo, it's very random. You either face the dumbest people or you play the more coordinated people that just can't really shoot, if that makes sense. And like in this video, I'm not trying to belittle any golds or silvers. I'm literally just trying to help you. So I'm gonna see comments down below because I always see people like that. They just get the wrong idea. Clash is gonna be C just because of, once again, this is solo queue Sentry in silver and gold. I just don't see people acting off Clash properly. Nomad is going to be S tier because you guys are going to get flanked. You're going to play monkeys, they're going to run at you, and just amazing for flanks. Cade, S tier just for denying the wall. Gridlock, I'm going to put her in B because it really depends on the map. She can be more effective than Nomad on some maps, in my opinion, like Cafe. Upstairs, if you're pushing upstairs, I'd rather Gridlock for the staircase because it's so much to get rid of, and you know they have to make a lot of noise to get rid of all the utility. Mozzie, I'm gonna put an A because if you do snatch a drone, you can easily just use it for yourself, and to be honest, it's gonna be so hard for them to find a random drone they're getting pinged from. Knock, I'm gonna put in B because I feel like Knock could be pretty useful in silver and gold just because of how random she is, so you might be able to make a play. She's one of those operators though that you can play once and then do amazing on, and then the next round they're gonna expect it. Warden F, not even gonna explain that. You can of course make the operator work, but no. Amaru is kind of like Knock in my opinion. You can make her work as like a wild card type of play, but I feel like she's more of a one and done operator. I'm not gonna lie, I might I might put Goyo in C, not because he's a bad operator, but because in silver and gold, I'm thinking about how random it is about the utility aspect, because your teammates are just not going to understand how to properly place ADSs, or they just don't care how to place their ADSs. And I'm kind of thinking about silver and gold as more of a, you know, duo queue, solo queue, maybe even trio queue area, which a lot of you silver and golds do play in. Kali, I'm not even gonna explain why again. Just don't use Kali. Learn how to use Maverick, way better. Well, my S tier, just because of deniability, of course. Ayana, I'm gonna put her in A tier because all the utility she just brings, and she's easy to use and very fun. Oryx, gonna put him in C. He's a very fun operator, very easy to operator use, but I would just put him in C. Melusi, S tier. I don't need to explain it once again. It's just she just brings so much to the table in terms of you know, area that she can basically contest with her banshees, and then, you know, the impacts and bulletproof. Zero, B tier operator. He's a good strong operator, just a lot of people don't utilize him enough, or they don't know how to properly use him. Aruni is gonna go in C. S, I mean, sorry. Just because of, once again, she's easy to use, she's effective as hell when she's on the board, and you know, you have a bulletproof. There's no downsides. Flores might be a B, just because in this elo they're not very focused on the utility aspect. They're more focused on the run and gun type of aspect, in my opinion, from what I've seen. S tier is going to be Thunderbird, just because of, you know, Thunderbird does do a lot for your team just based on the, you know, healing when you die. Osa, I'm gonna put her in an A because I feel like you can be very cheesy with her and cheeky and just kind of use her Osa shield to get free information for your teammates or just yourself. Thorn, I'm gonna put her in B. I don't think Thorn is the best operator, but I feel like she can be very fun. It's just, I feel like a Capcan might even be better than a Thorn. So this is for silver and gold. I decided to put it silver and gold instead of just silver because I was thinking about the gold tier list, and I feel like a lot of it is kind of the same. Because if you think about it, like gold 3, or is it gold? Yeah, gold 3, and then like high silver, mid silver is kind of the same in my opinion. And I've solo queued from silver to gold to plat to diamond. So like, this is just coming from my experience. You might have played in a different atmosphere, especially from console to console, but I've done this on console, Xbox, and then on PC. So this is where my opinion is coming from. So if you disagree with any of these picks, let me know. You might make some of these operators work and be great. I'm just thinking from my play type and how I would want my teammates to play. You are gonna have a different opinion. That's okay. All right, now let's get into plat elo. Sledge is gonna be S tier. So is Thatcher. So is Smoke. So is Mute. Thermite's gonna be A. Ash is gonna be B. Pulse is going to be A. Castle is going to be C. Montang is going to be actually B. Okay, I know I went through that pretty quick. These 4 operators, like Sledge, Thatcher, Smoke, Mute, it's just because previously, like I explained it, they're all very effective operators when they're on the board, and that's it. They just do a lot of great work. Sledge is great for vertical play, nades, entry picks, all that. Sledge is, Thatcher is good for just the wall and any utility needed. Smoke can be the game, like a round changer, just based on his utility. It really depends on how you play your life. And Mute denies drones. It's that simple. Thermite, great for opening walls. You open some big ass walls and then you can burn utility with him, and he has a solid overall weapons. Pulse is great because in this elo you start to play more coordinated stacks, so you can kind of predict what they're doing and play with your teammates a little bit better and readjust, and it's just good for just late round C4s and just intel overall. Ash is going to be B because I think Sophia's more of a better pick. Of course, Ash can be effective, but I just think Zophia's overall just better. Montang's B because he can be very effective as well. It just comes down to how you properly utilize the communication. Castle's gonna be C. You're gonna see his spot change once I get into higher ranks like Diamond and Champion. But I just think in Plat Elo he's a really hit or miss operator, and he's more situational. That's really why. Twitch is going to be A tier because Twitch, with her Twitch drone buff, she has 3 drones now. One being a normal drone, 2 being Twitch drones. You can do so much, and she just has smokes and I believe stuns. I don't really remember. I haven't played Twitch in a while. Or does she have Claymore? I don't know. Down in the comments, let me know. Overall, she does have the burning capability though, and the smoke capability, which people underestimate how to use smokes. Doc, I'm gonna put him in C. I'm gonna put him in D because I'm thinking about utility, and the usefulness behind Doc is just really not there. Same with Fuse. I mean Rook. Fuse is gonna be B tier. It really depends on like what map. He's more situational than anything, to be honest. Which I'm gonna put in C tier because C is more situational. So yeah, Glaz, dog shit. I know I'm gonna have Glaz mains pissed off. No. Okay, Chachanka is gonna be an A because like just wastes so much time, and he's just so good when it comes to lines of sight. Capcan is gonna be a B. Capcan is actually like highly underrated, and the fact that Capcan in ranked is like nobody expect Capcans or EDDs. Like this is quote unquote more of a meme-ish low elo operator, but like he's actually the most effective in high elo. Blitz, I'm gonna put him in D. IQ is gonna be more situational in my opinion. It really just varies on map to map. I feel like you can just do what her job is on like an operator like has nades, to be honest. Bandit's situational as well because Cade. Jaeger's S tier, deniability. Buck is gonna be probably B. He's a solid operator, but I just think Sledge is better. There's just someone that just does what he does just better. Frost is going to be a B tier because once again, Frost does have rotate capability and sight setup capability and a shield, and Frostmat is more of like a cherry on top with, and then she has a 1.5. Blackbeard is going to be a D. You're a dickhead if you use Blackbeard. Valkyrie's going to be an S tier operator because just the amount of utility that she brings with the 3 cameras, or not the utility, the information game, which Siege is an information game. Even with her nerf, she's still going to be highly effective. Capital is going to be a B operator. It's just, I feel like a lot of people just rather pick other operators in a lineup than Capital. Cav is going to be F. I don't care that Godly Noob is like the best and makes this operator work. No shit. Like a great players can make any operator work. But in Plat Elo, I would not want to bring a Cav. Hibana's going to be S tier because of how much lines of sight she can open, and I think Hibana's going to stay in this tier list at S going forward because of how effective she is. Echo is going to be a B. Very misused operator nowadays, but a lot of people rather bring an operator like Maestro. Makes sense. Jackal's going to be an S tier operator in Plat Elo because like if you leave him on the board, he's going to be a menace, man. Same with Mira. Mira changes the whole landscape of the game when you have her on the board. Ying is going to be C. Of course, there's going to be great Ying players, but you need like solid execution and solid team like communication all around. So Legion is going to be a B operator. Actually, no, Legion's going to be an A operator. I feel like Legion is just so easy to use and so effective when he's on the board. And he's just a pain in the ass. Sophia's going to be S tier because she does what Ashe does, but just does it way better. And we're in an LMG meta right now, so she has the easiest and best LMG because it holds 150 rounds and it's just so easy. Ella is going to be a C operator. I just feel like she is a little bit underwhelming compared to other defensive operators that you can bring. Dokkaebi is going to be B because it's Dokkaebi. It's free sound information and you can hack cams, and hack cams are one of the most highly underrated things that you can get a hold of on the attacker side. Vigil is going to be an A because in Plat Elo, people tend to be a little bit more team based. You do get jackasses in Plat, Vigil is just overall effective. Lion's gonna be B. Finka's gonna be A, because Finka is just a great operator at the moment. Because when you get into like the plat elo, you have more of a confidence thing, and like you have more teammates that just want to play like off each other and more team play. So the frag grenades can be very effective. Same with the Gong 6, and then you have a very crazy weapon to use. Alibi C, I feel like she's just a little bit underwhelming compared to some of the other operators that you can bring, but if you're having fun and you can gun out on an operator like her. Maestro is going to be S. As you can tell, I have Echo in B. Maestro does what Echo does, just a little bit differently and a lot better in my opinion. Of course, bubbles don't go invisible, but they're a lot harder to get rid of compared to Echo drones. You can just shoot them or Twitch drone them. Maverick's going to be S tier because Maverick is a solo type of hard breach operator that even if like your hard breachers die or whatever, even though it's going to be a pain in the ass to open a wall, you can still open a wall up. Clash is going to be A. I feel like this is the elo where you start getting more team play. My alarm went off. Cade is going to be S tier because Thatcher is going to be banned 99% of the time, and Cade is just a pain in the ass to get rid of, like his claws, and he has a 1.5 times scope. Nomad is going to probably be in A tier just because of flank watch. It's the best flank watch you can do. I feel like Gridlock is more situational type of thing, so I'm just going to keep her in B. Mozzie's A just because of the drone economy and what he can do. By the way, guys, in the prep phase, don't put down your Mozzie pets right away. Shoot drones first. I know you want to get a drone to like put in a corner or for information. If you do that, maybe get one if you can. Overall, Mozzie, I feel like is more effective when you shoot more drones and then use it after the prep phase. Knock is going to be in... I feel like you can make some heavy plays with Knock in plat. Even in Diamond and Champ, because nobody expects it. Warden is going to be like a D operator, in my opinion. Amaru is going to be a B operator. Once again, one of those hit or miss operators. Goyo is probably going to be A tier, because I'm still thinking about some people do solo queue in plat. And like you do have the odd apple that just has like a lot of games played and got to plat and just doesn't know how to play off of Goyo, you know? Callie is just going to be... I'm just going to put her in C because like there are going to be scenarios where you can make it work, and these players do have a little bit more of a better gun skill. Wilmai is going to go in A. I just feel like Jaeger is going to be 9 times out of 10 more effective in this elo than Wilmai. Really depends on the scenario though. I feel like Yana is going to be a very solid pick, especially on a map like Coastline or just most maps in general, because you get basically 3 drones and then like a Gong 6 and then nades. Solid weapons too. Orcs are going to be C because you can rat out and play very stupid with him and aggressive because he has a T5 1.5, and you can have an effective roam game when you pop all the hatches and whatnot, and you can make it work. Ace is going to be a... I guess I'll just put him in A as well. Like, to be honest, no hard breach is bad in this game, which I love. It's just like most of the time I'm going to prefer any other hard breach but Ace, but I'm also thinking about console in terms of this tier list. Ace on console is probably like a S tier operator in like most elo compared to any other hard breacher, just because it's more of a run and gun type of gameplay, and he has the AK-12. Lucy's gonna be S tier, like I said it with every other elo. Any elo, she's just effective, man. Zero's gonna be B. Because like I don't know, I feel like there's other operators that does his job better, and it really depends on the map. Like on a map like Coastline, I might want to bring him because you have more flexibility in terms of what you can do with that map. Floors is going to be S tier. You can destroy so much utility, especially on a map like Oregon. Getting rid of the elbow extension utility is going to be amazing. Same with Rooney in ranked. Rooney's so good. Lines of sight, 3 Rooney gates, bulletproof cam, solid weapons. You can't go wrong with her. Thunderbird is one of the best ranked operators just because she has such a huge impact on the team, even if she dies, and she can heal people from basically 1 HP or if they're down. Like, that's insane. Osa is a... I would say she's a B tier operator. Like, I would say even A tier operator because like she's just so effective and annoying to deal with. Like when you face a good Osa player, you're screwed. And then Thorn's gonna be in B tier operator, because I don't think she's the best operator. She's definitely so fun to use, and her gun is cool, but I don't think that she reigns supreme in terms of like utility and must-have type of thing, you know? It's one of those like last pick type of operators. So this is my plat tier list. If you agree, disagree, whatever, let me know down in the comments. I feel no ways, man. If you disagree, that's more than okay. Now this is gonna be for Diamond and Champ Elo. The reason why I'm putting these two into one, just kind of like I did Bronze and Copper, is because you're gonna be facing, once you get into even Plat 1, mostly Diamond 3, you're gonna be facing Champ players, and you're gonna be trying to understand and try to readjust yourself into these Champ players and how they play. And this is the elo that I play in at this current moment, and most common. So my opinion is coming from PC Champion or PC Diamond elo. So if you disagree, makes sense, especially if you're on console, and that's more okay. This is like ranked. Nothing is competitive like comp. Like I've never played CL, never played Pro League, I've never played competitive play. So my opinion is a lot different than what a comp player is going to say. And that is okay, because this is my opinion. S tier is going to be Sledge. Best vertical play operator in my opinion. Thatcher, I'm just gonna, he's just so easy to use, and but I never get to use him, but I'm gonna say S. I feel like with the EMP, if they ever do that secondary EMP, he might be lower on the board. I don't know, we'll have to see with what happens with that EMP change, but let's see. Smoke, S tier, one of my favorite operators in the game. On defense especially, amazing operator. Same with Mew, just because of the deniability, rotate capability, C4, just amazing. Thermite's going to be a B tier operator. I just think that there's better hard breachers. He does a solid job and he does what's needed, but I'm not going to want to pick him. Ash is going to be a B tier operator because I think Sophia is just way better and way more solid than her. Pulse, I'm going to put him in as an A tier operator because it really comes down to the communication, and not even like the C4 from below, because that's the basic Pulse 101, but it's just the communication that you have with your team. You have so much intel, and intel in higher ranks is most important. Castle, I'm going to put him in B just because of how situational he is. You can make Castle work on a lot of maps, but I've seen some people with some scuffed ass strats. He's a very strong operator, but I'm going to put him in B just because of how situational he is. Montang is going to be B as well, because Montang can be very effective. It's just, it comes down to what map and the playstyle of the enemies that you're playing. And mostly because, like, that's the thing about Diamond Champ. You have to readjust your gameplay and game style very quickly, or you're going to lose. Twitch is going to be an A tier operator because of the Twitch drones, the smoke. This is the elo where you start getting players who use utility properly and utilize Twitch drones instead of just being a gun. Doc is going to be D, same with Rook. Fuse is going to be B. The reason these two are in D is because they're just better alternatives to these operators, or like, why the hell am I going to want the extra, HP from Rook armor when I have a Thunderbird? Just doesn't make sense. Empty pick in my opinion. And then, yeah, Glaz is F. Stop with the Glaz. Chichanka is an A pick because, once again, I feel like having even a smoke Chichanka combo is so effective, because Chichanka is a different version of smoke, but so effective. And he has shield, he has rotate capability, lines of sight. It's so easy to use him. It's just so fun. Capcan, I'm going to put him in B. I think Capcan in this elo is probably the best elo to use Capcan in. To be honest, like, I'm coming from a ranked mindset. Like, you have to realize I'm trying to balance it between strats and really what map you're playing. So I actually might put Capcan in A. And like, some of you guys might be laughing, but if you face me, and you're going to be hitting some EDDs, man. Blitz is going to be a C pick operator. Really situational. Like, the one time I'll see Blitz used if I'm playing with Pox on locks, or if we're going for an elbow rush on Oregon. IQ is going to be a B because there's a lot of scenarios, especially on Villa, that I might want to go IQ just because I enjoy playing IQ and I feel like she is effective. Of course, there is going to be operators that's better at doing her job and going under, but I just like IQ. So this is my personal opinion. Bandit, I don't see him used like ever, so I'm going to put him in C tier because Cade is more effective. Jaeger is going to be in S tier because of deniability once again. Buck is going to be in B tier because I think Sledge is just on a way different level than him. The only thing upside is, you know, he can burn with stuns and he does have hard reach capability. I actually might put him in A. I'm going to put him in A. I'm happy with that pick. Really depends on which map. These two can vary, to be honest. Frost is going to be in a B tier because of the shield rotate capability 1.5. Frost mats are very random too. Like, there's nothing more irritating than being in the highest elo in the game and still hitting a frost mat. Blackbeard is going to be C. Not very useful, but can be useful. And to be honest, you're douche if you use this operator. And he can literally just save your life though, like using that stupid shield. Valkyrie is going to be S tier even with her nerf coming out. I think she's an amazing operator. Even like with the cams not being able to go outside and they get disabled, I feel like pros are going to find ways to make even Val cams work outside in some scenarios. I think Capital is going to be an A tier operator, especially in this elo, because this is when utility is utilized the best. So if any elo is going to use Capital properly, it's going to be Champ and Diamond, but he is still highly underpicked. Cav is going to be F, unless you're Godly Noob, that would be an S tier. Habana is going to be S as well because of the amount of hashes and the amount of lines of sight that you can open. People think hard breachers are just there for lines of, like, open up walls and whatnot and hatches, but a lot of you guys don't understand that you can use a Habana, and Habana is used to open up just minor lines of sight too. Like having a little hole in certain areas of the map is like basically a cutoff, and it's going to be a pain in the ass to try to deal with that and rotate your body. I honestly think Echo's a B tier operator. It's just like his Echo drones are so loud, but like I love Echo. Like Pox Unlocks does an amazing job of utilizing Echo. If you guys don't know who that is, he's a buddy of mine, content creator. Go check him out, go sub to him, all that shit. Jackal's an A tier operator. He's just so easy and so effective, and it makes roam clearing and taking map control overall just easy. So I'm actually going to put him in S tier because how much time he saves you. Same with Mirror, because Mirror changes the landscape of the game. Ying is going to be C. It's just, I don't know, something about Ying is just very underwhelming in my opinion. Legion's going to be a B tier operator just because I feel like even though he is good, he's just like he's very easy to counter and get rid of with like just by simple droning and shooting the goo mines and, you know, Twitch drones, and there's so much that you can do to get rid of the goo mines. Zofia is going to be probably S tier because of the LMG meta and just because of, once again, the utility that's brought. So yeah, Ella is going to be a C tier operator. Very annoying operator when you actually run into her charisma mines, but she is a little bit underwhelming. Dokkaebi probably B tier just because of the like the only thing that's really the downside of Dokkaebi is probably just her guns, in all honesty. DMRs, they either need a buff or something, because using Dokkaebi can be a pain in the ass just because of the DMR. Vigil is going to be probably a S tier roamer because like the amount of drone information he denies, and he's just such a pain in the ass to try to roam clear, man. Lion is going to probably be B tier operator, and then Finka is going to be probably an S tier operator right now in Champ and Diamond Elo. You see Finka brought so much because, once again, Finka is just so effective, and, you know, Champ and Diamonds utilize utility the most. Lion, great operator all around in terms of line scans, you know, burn capability, gong 6, and then he has like a mini LMG. It's like 51 rounds, the little vector. It's just, I feel like there are better picks, and he's very situational in what map you're playing and how your teammates are playing around you. Alibi, I'm going to put Alibi in B as well, because once again, you can make Alibi be very effective, just like Frost. And this is the highest elo, so people are going to, you know, have different tips and tricks and how to use certain operators, and they can make these operators work very well. Maestro is going to be S. He's just so easy and so effective when he's on the board, just because of the 2 bubbles that he has. Now that teammates can rotate the cams, that's crazy when they're dead. He brings barbed wire, 81 rounds, rotate capability. He's just all around amazing operator. He gets the best of the best. Same with Maverick. Maverick can open up walls, amazing guns, grenades. You know, he can open up walls basically by himself. Clash is going to be an S tier operator as well, because Clash is going to be most effective in this elo, because teammates are going to play off Clash accordingly, and just amazing. Nomad is going to put in A, because air jabs themselves are very inconsistent. I've seen people hit air jabs and them literally just not hit it. Like, they don't fly. They make the noise and then just run by it. I feel like drones are a little bit better in some scenarios, having a cutoff, because you can actually take that 1-for-1 frag instead of having that cutoff with the air jab. But air jabs, they are so effective on a lot of maps, especially a map like Cafe. K is going to be S tier because of the Thatcher ban, and because how hard it is to get rid of his Electro Claws. You can do so much sneaky shit with his Electro Claws. Gridlock is going to be B. It's very situational, but Gridlock is an amazing operator in my opinion. Very highly underrated. I love using her. It's just, you know, it really comes down to the team that you're playing with, and like, you know, how okay you are being a chunky girl. Mozzie's going to be A tier just because Mozzie just denies drones, hacks drones, amazing loadout, C4. He's just all around fun and good. Knock, I'm going to put in B surprisingly, just because of the playstyle that you can, like, once again, operator like Knock and operator like Amaro, both hit or miss, and Hail Mary type operators, but you need to frag out. They're very selfish operators all around. But an operator like Amaro, you can run Amaro the entire game with just because of the G8. Loadout's amazing. Warden, I'm going to put in B surprisingly as well, because Warden can be used very effectively in this elo. I'm pretty sure Warden has a shield. If I don't, I might be lying. I'm so sorry if I am. 1.5 times scope. He does have a C4, I believe, and a... yeah, overall, he can be very effective. Goyo, probably an S tier operator, just because of the amount of shields that he has. With the change coming up, I feel like he still might keep that place in S tier, because the canister itself... it's kind of like a chachonka like pellet, but it lasts way longer and it has such a huge area of effect. Callie is going to be C just because sometimes she can be useful, and this is the highest elo, so people can have that great first shot accuracy. Wamai's going to be S tier. Even though Jaeger and Wamai have the same role, they do different shit, and especially when you're playing certain maps, you can use both of them, and it's going to be so hard to clear utility. Ayana is going to be A tier. I just think she's absolutely amazing. One of my favorite operators in the game, especially in this elo to use. Ace is going to be B tier. I'm going to have kids down in the comments. Keep in mind, this is PC. I'm thinking mostly PC right now, because that's... I never played Ace, I don't think, when I was in Champion on console, because I switched Shifting Tides, like right when he came out. So, but on console, I would say 100% Ace is S tier, because the meta is a little bit different of how you guys play. Oryx is going to be a B tier operator, and you're going to probably be like, what the hell is he doing? You're probably like, yo, but you said that he's basically useless. I was trying to, when I talked about copper and bronze, I wanted to more or less explain about utility and how to understand the fundamentals, because it's a video game, it's ranked, you're supposed to have fun, but you need to understand the basic fundamentals to actually be able to, you know, be okay with using an operator like Oryx. You need to have the proper gun skill, and you need to understand proper rotation. On a map like Consulate, with all the hatches, you can make Oryx work insanely. Melusi is going to be staying in S. She's just so effective, what she brings on the table. Same with Thunderbird, and same with... I don't know if I want to put Flores in S or A. I'm going to say S for now. I don't know if he's going to get a nerf in the future. It's just... He has burning capability. He has 6 drones, basically, 4 that explode. I feel like he's just amazing all around. Zero is going to be I'm gonna say an A tier operator. It's just you can't go wrong when using an operator like Zero. It really depends on the operator lineup, because there are going to be better choices and more needed picks on attack. But operator like Zero, man, like he just brings so much to the table. Great weapons, Gong 6. I believe he has a hard reaching device, and then he has like 6 cams. Like when used properly, he can be amazing for flank cams, for just cams for people when they're dead, for getting rid of utility. Like he's amazing. Rooney's gonna be an S tier operator. She's basically like Jaeger if you think about it, with her 3 gates. If you use them properly, you can use them as basic ADSs, or you know, running into them is just taking a huge leap of HP. I'm gonna put Osa in B. She is a great operator. It's just there's gonna be better operators, more or less, that you can bring. Thorn, I'm just gonna put her in B. I haven't played Thorn enough, to be honest, and I haven't seen her utilized to extreme. She's not overpowered. I just think she's a little bit underwhelming. So this is my tier list for champion and diamond. If you disagree, agree, whatever, that's okay, because this is my personal opinion. This is not from a comp perspective at all. So this definitely would not be probably a comp type of tier list, I don't believe. But yeah, you're gonna disagree, and that's okay. Once again, guys, I hope you found some type of value in this video, or you found some type of entertainment. If you did, make sure that you like, sub, and comments, and have a lovely day, guys.